And we're live. 79 degrees Fahrenheit. All right. Hope you guys are having a wonderful Saturday afternoon. What is the meaning of life? I want to know. Somebody tell me. I really wish I knew. What is the meaning of life? It's like, you can fill everything up with your day and you think that you got everything all taken care of because you're doing so much, or at least you think you are, and then there's just that feeling where it's like, no, you're not really doing that much, and it's like, well, what can you do when you feel like you've done everything? Or like you're doing as much as you can, especially with the limits that you're dealt with. I mean, but hey, you guys want the truth? I'll give you the truth. Well, first of all, despite me, kind of slurring my words a bit, I am in fact not drunk. I don't do alcohol. Never had, never will. Same thing with drugs. Drugs in general. Oh, hey, Steven. Steve, that's what I meant. Hey, Steve, what's up? Just playing a game, trying to, well, everybody, hey, what do people always love? What do people love the most? Well, at least, within like the last 20 or so years, reality TV, they want the truth. Okay, well, I'll give you the guys the truth. So I was originally, I just got back from basically, well, it wasn't exactly a walk. It was like a little bit of, it was like a walk and a run. So it was like a walk and, oh yeah, that's cool. So it was like a walk and a run. But at first I kind of just ran there. Like I told my mom, like, Mom, I'm just going to go outside. And then I just kind of ran as fast as I could. Like I was in like some sort of, like I was in like a nightmare that I was trying to escape from. And then I just went to like where I usually go. There's like this dugout, so just kind of sat there and cried. And and then I just started walking back eventually. There was this one lady or guy, I don't know, this one person that was out there. She was playing with this soccer ball, just kept kicking this ball around. And I wanted to, figure like, okay, maybe, what I need is to, just have somebody to like, just, hey, I don't know, just kick the ball around or something, or at least, just say like, hey, I hope your day is going well. And of course, then even though uh, I wouldn't, if she said like, "Oh, how was your day going?" Of course, I would say fine because you can't, because what good does it do if especially when it's somebody who can't even really help you? Oh, that's what I always done. I remember when I used to intern at the library, and that was, I mean, it wasn't like a terrible job, but it wasn't like really the job that I thought it turned out to be. And then I just kind of, and I was just like, I wasn't, I don't know, it's weird because on one hand, I love the people I worked for or that I worked with, and even the boss that I worked for was really nice, but it's just the job itself was just seems stressful, even though it wasn't. And so every time that I came back, because we had a bus, and I went down, so I had a bus that I went and I took to the library because that's where I interned at. And then once the job was over, I went back on the bus and went back to, you know, school, back to the class. And literally every time somebody said, hey, Chris, how was work? I always had the same answer: fine. Which I'm surprised that nobody kind of caught on that um, it clearly wasn't fine. But again, you know, maybe it's kind of good that they didn't know, because again, what can they do other than saying like, oh well, I hope things get better. Like, I just been feeling like just so weird, man. Like, so weird. Well, I wouldn't say weird, but just so out of, just like, so out of place. Something just so lost, alone, scared, and everything. One moment I could just be as happy as I can possibly be, and then the next moment I am just wondering to myself, like, what am I doing with my life? What am I not doing? What could have I, what could have I, here comes the pain. Here comes the pain is what I'm playing, Steve. What could I have done? Or what do I need to do? Because I feel like, in hindsight, I am doing what I'm. Why does he keep moving? I feel like I am, filling things up with my time, or I'm at least trying to be more productive, especially with my karate practice. But somewhere I just still feel lost. And I don't know if I don't know what it is. It's, it's, and it's just frustrating because nobody really knows or can truly pinpoint why am I feeling this way. Is it because of that one time that I hit my head and I felt like I possibly had a concussion because I seem to have all of the signs? So is it is it that, or am I just depressed, or am I depressed slash have a concussion? And I don't know. Maybe it's everything. I don't know. And I know I don't like to, and obviously I don't really like to even bring that stuff up to begin with, because I know how people are just very quick to say, "Oh, well, there they go again. There goes, these snowflake millennials talking about how they're so depressed. Well, back in my day, I was able to, you know, I don't believe in depression. I believe in just, getting out there and doing something with your life." And ironically, some of that comes from my family. They're just obviously not as, like, smart about it. And obviously, when I mean by smart, I mean like sarcastic and just kind of mean about it, at least to my face. So I know I'm not exactly talking too much about the video game, nor am I even really doing any commentary, or but it's just been a really weird, not only off day, but just kind of an off month. So hopefully that's going to change somehow. At least somewhat. And and on top of that, I just feel like this sense of just like almost at the same time not doing anything, because and when I do something, and when I do actually end up doing something, and I end up slightly messing up, whether it's like, okay, I get like something wrong that I like, oh, I thought I really knew it, or maybe I even, get into like some argument or whatever online about something stupid, like, oh, some guy doesn't like pro wrestling, so I go ahead and I decide, oh, well, even though he obviously has no idea what he's talking about, and I know that, and he doesn't care, I guess time for me to, well, even though I know better, and I know, and then to, like, to really listen to this guy, I guess my five. I guess I'm gonna be five now, and I'm gonna go ahead and complain about this guy because he says wrestling is stupid and whatever. Again, just like when I was a kid. And what is my excuse? Well, he said something about it, and just don't respond to him. My match right now is Roddy Piper and Charlie Haas. Oh, and it's 8:38. Great. Another day, another time where hopefully I'm gonna get some sleep, because and even even though just because I can't get sleep and I wake up like 2, 3 hours far too early, I still should know better than to, just all of a sudden say, oh, well, then I guess I better go and get on my Discord and just talk all night and only to. It's like, get that dopamine going. Like, I got that camaraderie, me and like all my friends, like, oh, we're talking about hockey, or hey, like I made like this funny joke on, this one, whenever this guy's Discord, and then all of a sudden, what happens? A few hours go by. I say, okay, I'm gonna go get some sleep, and then because I'm actually tired now, and then when I'm actually tired, after just wasting all my time, I wake up and feel like I got like and feel like just like I got a hangover or something. It's like, what am I gonna do, man? I keep getting these ringings in my ear. Some I can barely even hear, but yet they're still loud enough to just make me feel like awful. And it's great that, well, that and well it, and it's and while it certainly is great to know that I have my therapist and I can talk to him about it. While it's great to be able to have somebody to talk to, it's, my God, why is my Discord going off? Yeah, shut up, Discord. Jesus. Oh, great. Where's my stream? Oh, there it is. It helps to have somebody to talk to, but at the end of the day, it's just still not enough. And that's scary. Especially when you just have weird weird nightmares where you just feel trapped. You can't get away. And then when you wake up, you don't want to fall asleep again because you're scared that those nightmares are going to come back. I'm I'm sorry for anybody that I brought down with some of my discussions. And I know that somebody somehow somebody's gonna be like, you don't have to apologize, but hey, Randy. But I guess you could just say, well, at least I can say that, um, like, well, thank you for telling me that I don't have to apologize, and also, that just comes from just how I was raised. Uh, Not much. Just me, kind of just playing a game and just I don't know. Just me, just kind of playing the game and just me, just kind of talking a little bit about what happened before I came back home. How I just kind of I ran, I ran to like baseball and that I ran back to like from my house all the way back to where there's a dugout, and I just sat there and I cried because I just don't know what I'm doing with my life, or I just feel lost and like there's just nobody out there that's gonna be able to help me or understand me, or and even for the people that do understand me, they all they can only do. Can't just make it go away. I can't get sleep, and even with everything that I'm putting into my time, still just doesn't seem like I'm doing enough. I don't know what more I can do, especially with the the, the limits that I have at the moment. I know. I was well. Yeah, you see, that's the. I wasn't trying to like make it like so serious. As I also said before, it's hard to like just say like, okay, all I need is family, when some members of my family are, kind of, part of that whole problem of like not being able to fully understand, or if I do talk to them, then all of a sudden I get called out for it. Not by anybody in the community, but by some members of my family. Like, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Like, I'm pretty sure you guys have some members in your family where it's like, and and that's where, and like you're right, and that should usually be where it help, where like I understand, Randy, but it's another thing when your mom and your dad say that, oh, like like your aunts are like all liars. Like, well, better yet, when they say that, okay, we're gonna tell, well, we're the only ones that'll tell you the truth, and we'll go out there and we'll help you or whatever. When, but yet, if you go ahead and you talk to anybody else, even if they understand too, and they are a part of the family as well, and care about you the same way, then well, you clearly just want us to get separated. You just want us to, uh, uh, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, Jennifer, that is their perspective on a sibling. Well, I mean, I'm an only child, and all I know is I care about everyone. I care about my family, but I just wish that that well, for one thing, that like I said, that my parents, specifically my mom, would not only not call my aunts liars, but but apparently say that she goes to her, that she no, I don't know. It's look, nah, even Big Show couldn't beat me. Look, guys, here's what I'm trying to say. Sorry. Look, I don't even really. An aunt is a sibling to your parent. Yeah, well, yeah, you're right. That well, that's interesting that you say that because it's like my aunts and or my uncles, um, are like brothers and sisters to my mom. So why? Yes, yeah, I'm here. You know what it's like to have somebody that cares about you, but as much as they care about you, they also just not only get you frustrated, but they just make you feel even more alone, even when it's not their intention. Even when it's somebody like your mom. Like they say, talk to us about anything that's on your mind. But then all of a sudden you go ahead, you say what's on your mind, and it's like, well, well, that's different. Look, a family dilemma is not going to change until everyone changes. The problem is my parents don't want to acknowledge that. Look, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is I'm stressed, I'm depressed, I'm alone, or I feel alone. I can't sleep. Sometimes I don't even like. Sometimes I just wonder why am I even? What am I even doing with my life? Why am I making streams? Why do I even try to talk to anyone? It's like I don't even know who to trust. It's like there's just always somebody out there just waiting to take the knife and twist it right in the back. And maybe some of this talk comes from the fact that maybe I even have a concussion, which I thought, well, and I'm pretty sure if I told my parents that, well, I don't know what you're. Okay, Jennifer. Well, hope you're having fun babysitting. Which I'm not saying that there isn't some truth to that, and my dad says the exact same thing. But it's hard to not do that when you are around when even the people that are around you cause you to feel that way, and they acknowledge it, but they don't want to change it. But I don't I don't have a problem. I'm not a bad kid. Why? Just why out of all the things that somebody could do to like see, there I go, I'm embarrassing myself again. I'm sorry. Just sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Gina, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for bothering you. I'm sorry for bothering everybody in the Discord. I'm sorry for anybody that I've ever hurt. I'm sorry for anybody that I've given a hard time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for people that are listening to me crying on stream. I'm not a heat beggar. I'm not a snowflake. I'm not virtue signaling. I sometimes, you know, Thanks, Jennifer. And I hope that your babysitting is going well. I I need a moment to get some water, and I'll be right back. Give me some tissue. Thanks, Jennifer. I saw the signs. I appreciate it. And kind of going back to Gina J in particular. Um, usually I would just go ahead and I just say to make sure to check out her channel, and or just the Horny Goat. Yes, that is a real channel. I kind of thought the same thing when I first heard about it. I'm like, what the heck is that supposed to mean? I mean, is that like some weird fetish or whatever? And it's like, no, it's a form of weed. I didn't know. So, um, but yeah, I just like to take a moment just to say that uh, just to give her a shout out. She was uh, a well, I mean, she still is, but she was like one of the first friends I remember just talking to on Twitter back when AEW was like first starting, and we just clicked from there. Just seemed to click from there, and literally almost any time that I was down, before Discord, before I even really knew what that was or really used it, I missed her, and just very very kind person, great friend, and um, and you and hang it. Sometimes this is hard to get the words out, but yeah, I just wanted to say she's a great friend of mine. She's honestly like an aunt to me. I would call her Aunt G, which is funny because it kind of sounds like like Angie, and I have an aunt with that name, and I guess, and one of the things I remember telling my other aunt was the reason why when it comes to the women that I bond with so much that I end up, like considering them like aunts to me, um, even if they're not, whether they're friends or they're cousins or whatever, is because, aunts along with women in general were always, just like the main people that just kind of were always there when I was sad, and I just needed somebody to talk to when I felt like, oh, if I like tell my dad, or if I tell like a guy this, they're just gonna, they won't understand, or they'll make fun of me. So I feel a little bit better now, by the way. I yeah, I feel better now, by the way. So thanks guys. Um, really appreciate it. Um, Hey Jennifer, so did you watch the Stanley Cup? I finally finished that. Really, I mean, it sucks that Montreal lost. It really does. But even though there was part of me that was like, well, I'm not going to be rooting for Montreal anymore, I still am. Not even because, I feel sorry for them, but because, I just feel that team spirit. I just have like too much respect for like what they were able to do from what I've seen from like the first few hockey games that I watched, and a lot of that kind of first starting with Jake Evans when he got hit by Mark Scheifele. That was just insane. I couldn't believe it. So, I think it was on that day they became like my favorite team, regardless if they're not really doing the best. And even Carey Price, as good of a goalie as he is he's slipping a little bit. But I still want. I'm still a fan of the Habs, and better yet, I don't know. I mean, thank you for the 5 people that are now watching this. Um, I don't know if I'm. I don't know if I'm probably going to get some people that are going to dislike this or maybe even leave. But yes, I not only like the Habs, but I even want to check out the Boston Bruins. I honestly hope that I can not only become a Canadiens. Well, I can not only be a Habs fan, even though I am a Habs fan. I can not only be a Habs fan, but also a Boston Bruins fan, which I learned from Joe Cronin and or other guys on YouTube. No wait. Oh, and like the Discord that oh Montreal and Boston hate each other because of the rivalry that they had over the years. And I remember one. Thank you for by the way kind of proving me wrong and not leaving, um, because apparently there are. I mean, I'm pretty sure there are some people out there that if hey Steve, um, just talking about the Stanley Cup, man. Um, what was I saying? Oh yeah, because I know that there are some people out there that are going to It probably would, be all like, whether it's some guy from Boston, if I ever go to Boston, which would be nice, would be cool to go to. I mean, I ever since I saw the movie The Departed, I always wondered, it would be cool to go to Boston. I even kind of like the accent, even if people say it's really annoying. Yeah, like I can imagine if like I came to Boston with a Montreal Canadiens jersey, they'd be like, "Hey, what are you doing with that jersey? This is Boston. Where's your Bruins jersey?" you know, and they probably would even say some even worse things, um, but hey, I'm in Indiana, so can't get me from here. And even if they did, I mean, what's the worst that they're going to do? And why is it such a problem if I want to like both teams? Oh, because both teams hate each other? Yeah, I live where JB lives. Shout out to Justin Bailey. Uh, which I know that, yeah, man, I've seen him. I mean, not like in person or whatever, but like yeah, there were some moments where I was on like the rant line, and he said, he just said some crazy stuff. My first rant line, um, what was I saying? My first rant line was me cutting a promo on S. Dalla, and I had an Intercontinental toy belt. I still have it. And I was, something like, the rookie's coming for you, S. Dalla, and Justin Bailey, kind of put me on blast right there. And like I said, um, it was funny. Maybe I didn't understand it a little bit at the time, but it was pretty funny when he was like, uh, look, because I was wearing braces. Right now, I'm wearing retainers, which ironically, the retainer I have is of the Canadian flag. And I'm pretty sure you guys can guess by some of my past live streams about why I have fat. Hey, you guys wanted uncut stuff? Here's the Canadian flag right here, and I'm pretty sure you guys can guess why I decided to pick the Canadian flag. And keep in mind, it was before I started watching hockey. And Tajiri just hit me with that green mist. Yeah, and so that rant line, he was all like, this kid wearing braces. I think he's wearing retard. And then one time he said, make like Chris Benoit and leave. Even though that's where, I got it. I mean, like, I'll laugh at I'll laugh a little bit more now at like some of like the dark Benoit jokes, but I'm also like, yeah, like that's where that, and of course, like where when Owen Hart falling is where I kind of cross the line. I just won't I won't cross the line. I won't say that's where I cross the line, but that's where at least I am. Just like, okay, I'll laugh, but I don't really like those jokes, even if I do think they're kind of funny, but they're not. I'm just not going to come off, like, oh my god, you can't say that about Benoit. I don't know. As long as, like people aren't, calling me, a murderous sympathizer or whatever, I don't really care. Anyways, but that's all. But, yeah. But, yes, Randy, I have seen Justin Bailey. And I know also that he's somebody that apparently a lot of people want to see on again, and I have seen many times in the chat in the past, like, we want Justin Bailey again, and well, and ironically, that's really all I can say is that just what I've heard. I don't like. I mean, me personally, I just believe that I don't really have like a preference of, like, is if, like, oh, bring Justin Bailey back, and they'll make the show better. To me, it's like, I mean, hey, if they bring him back, cool. If they, and of course Chris Jericho pins me again. But hey, if he came back, cool. If he doesn't, then that's cool too. Like, just because at the end of the day, these guys are more than just entertainers. They're family men. They need to live the rest of their lives. Same thing with Jake, who is like one of my favorite guys personally on the show, because he's not only somebody that I really think is just entertaining, but he was just, he's just like the night, like, he was just, he really also, we also just really like connected, like on like a real good like friendship, you know, level. Just, we really could relate. You know what I mean? Like, so, which again, as long as, as he's doing what he wants to do, and everything's going, as long as everything's going well for him, JB, as long as everything's going well for you, man, um, you know, that's all that really matters, right? Regardless if, I don't know. That's why I said I don't really have any sort of preference on if he comes back or if he doesn't come back. I got nothing to do with any disdain towards him. I'm just saying, like, if, as long as you're doing, I mean, hey, hope you're doing well. Either way, my friend. It's like, and going back to that, like, how some people would be, like, really upset when Jake wouldn't show up sometimes, because the poor guy just goes through a lot as far as, just his health, and me, all I care about, just like I said with JB, but especially with Jake, because I just really, because there were some moments where we just, where I was talking to him, and he just really helped me in some even darker times of my life. Like Jake, I'd always tell him, like, hey man, well, especially if he was like, if I somehow could like call him, I'd just be like, hey man, do not be sorry that you weren't able to come. Do not be sorry that you weren't able to come, because your health is more important. And I care more about, you just being in good health, and not being in pain, and being there with your family, than I do with you coming onto the show. When you're able to come to the show, always awesome to see you there. But when you're in pain, um, you know what I mean? Relax. You need to relax. Thank you, by the way, for the person that liked the video. Uh, it feels this once again. And thank you once again to Randy Viper, Steve Callan, and Jennifer for showing up to the chat. It's always great when you guys are on here. Because when it's just me talking by myself, it just doesn't feel the same. But with you guys, you make it so special, and just really make to me, you guys are the show. Like you guys help make it what it is, or the live stream. I mean, I guess you wouldn't say it's a show, but I don't know. You guys make it special, and I appreciate it, and I love you guys so much. Oh man. Yeah. Okay. I agree. Bye bye, Kane. Oh, no. I should have figured. It's gonna take more than just who won pedigree. How about who? Uh, uh, 3. And you're out of here, Kano. A wrestling and Mortal Kombat reference rolled into one. That was the worst Pee Herman laugh ever. Are any of you guys fans of Jim Gaffigan, by the way? You guys even know who he is? As a matter of fact, I like to ask a question to Randy Viper. As somebody who doesn't know, for example, a lot of American, well, for example, so you say you don't know Biz Markie. Who do you know that's famous in America? And let's try to focus on like actual entertainers, not those of the private variety, if you catch my drift here. And I know what some people think, or just like, and just when I said anything but entertainers of the adult variety, you immediately bring it up. What is it, my friend? Like, you get way too much. I think you get way too much sensual dopamine. Yeah, that's where I think you get. I think that's what you have. You have SDD. You have sensual dopamine disease. Well, of course, I know you know about wrestlers. By the way, does anybody have any fireworks going off? Because I've been having them go off for a while now, and like it's not even the 4th of July. That's tomorrow. But, what are you gonna do? Okay, better yet, how many WWE guys do you know? Matter of fact, how many obscure guys do you know? As you could, well, if you could see right now, I am Triple H in a slobber knocker, where you basically, it's like an endurance test. You see how many guys, like a bunch of guys will, like one guy will get into the ring and once you eliminate them, it's like a gauntlet, so you pin one guy, there goes another. will you please talk about somebody else beyond bullfrogging or porn stars? And why did I almost put like a Irish accent on there? Porn stars. Like that's the one thing I've realized. Isn't that weird? Like I thought that other people had accents. I didn't think I had one. And I mean I don't, but sometimes it sounds like sometimes I'll say instead of Harvey, I'll say Hervey. Okay, but going back to what I was saying, how many obscure guys do you know, Randy? Like, do you know Sean O'Hare, Rodney Mack? Do you know those guys? In fact, isn't Rodney Mack? Isn't he still? Isn't that like Jazz's husband? Like, don't they have like a wrestling school together? I'm pretty sure. So like, there's Rodney Mack, there's Sean O'Hare, and who else? There's Taka Michinoku. That guy kind of came and went. So you have Taka, you have who else? Who else do you have? Well, I definitely know there was a lot of obscure guys in the new generation era. Who remembers Fantasia or Fantasio? Some No, I think it was Fantasio. Isn't that his name? Some One of those names. What about Kenny Dykstra, one of the members of the Spirit Squad? You remember the Spirit Squad? I remember the Spirit Squad. Ah, no, no, Val. Do you know like Ultimate Dragon? I mean, come on, Randy. I mean, do you know any of these guys that I just listed off? Again, there was Taka Michinoku, there was Rodney Mack, there was who else? Who else did I say? Oh well, there's Nails. Who remembers Nails? Remember that guy? The Mountie. Um, Nothing. Nothing from old Randy Viper. I bet you know at least Val Venus, right? Who I think it was either on Garguts or yeah, I think it was on like his stream where I did my oh no. I did my Val Venus voice. Which oh no. Which I didn't even know I could do. But, this is what it sounds. It's like, hello, ladies. I mean, maybe I might even have to go on to like, call up the Joe Cronin show one day, and I'll do my Val Venus voice because You know how everybody talks about how much, like, Joe, do the phone sex line. Well, imagine doing the phone. Imagine, instead of the phone sex line, call in and all of a sudden, why is it like, oh, why does this guy sound like Val Venus? Oh, who constantly keeps pinning me. Speaking of Val Venus, what, in the words of the angry video game nerd James Rolfe, what were they thinking when they decided to come up with Right to Censor? Now, don't get me wrong. I am one who is all about calling out the PC police and whatnot, and just like those who can't take a joke, save their life. But not when, a gimmick like the Right to Censor, which, while it sounds good on paper, it also is going to take away what the fans enjoy, ironically. It's going to take away Val Venus's, porn star gimmick. It's going to take away Charles Wright's, Ho Train, pimping gimmick. It's going to take away, like everything that, that people liked. And that's just something you don't do unless you want to lose money. But yeah, speaking of Attitude Era, that's basically what I'm doing right now. I mean, not right now, but like right now, I'm kind of getting back into watching Monday Night Raw, but specifically the episodes from like 2000 on Peacock. Yes, Peacock, the infamous Peacock that, no doubt, stupidly took out segments that they didn't need to take out, and that all that did was erase history. Whether it was the Survivor Series 2005, 2005 segment where Vince, dropped the N bomb, and Booker T was like, "Tell me he didn't just say that. Tell me he didn't just say that," which I thought was kind of funny. I mean, at least from like Sharmell and Booker T's reaction, and the fact that he said it to John Cena, not to Booker T. I mean, come on, dude. Like, tell me that clip. I mean, I saw it the first. I remember when I saw it the first time on DVD, and I had no problem with it at all. And that wasn't even when it first released. I was not offended at all. I thought it was hilarious. And I don't even have a problem with Roddy Piper's, half blackface promo, even though it was like, obviously, when you take that, when you just, like, think like, okay, here's this white dude, this white Scottish Canadian, he's putting on half black, he's making not only his face but his body half black. Now, obviously, that seems like a recipe for disaster. But just like Joe and Jake said, if you watch that promo and you listen to what he's saying about, about how it doesn't matter who you are, you can do any, we're all the same inside. Okay, it was a weird thing to, like, was it, I mean, okay, was it weird, for, I mean, okay, like, that's inspired. Now, I understand people can be like, yeah, that's all inspiring and all, but did he have to go ahead and do that? Did he have to, like, paint his body and face half black? Well, Let me ask you this. Seeing how, like, Bad News Brown, he also went on a shoot interview talking about he didn't like Roddy doing that either. Let me ask you this. Why did Bad News Brown wrestle Dick Murdoch, even though that guy has countless black wrestlers from Bad News Brown to Tony Atlas, and I don't know how many others, but yeah, quite a few black wrestlers going on shoot interviews and saying that Dick Murdoch was a white supremacist. So so like Bad News Brown was upset about what Roddy did, but it's like, well, you're going to talk Bad News Brown because you wrestled with what many people consider to be a white supremacist in Dick Murdoch. So what makes you any better? You know what I mean? That's hypocrisy for you, man. I'm telling you that I hope one day I can somehow manage to make a shirt that says, you can call out my hypocrisy, but I can call out yours. So let's agree to disagree. Because that's really what we all need. Because all of us have a form of bias. There's no denying that. Nobody's completely in the middle. And the only way that we would be is if we were robots or super intelligent aliens or something. Yeah, probably should stick with robots. That would make a little bit more sense. Oh, here comes Benoit and a flying clothesline to you, Mr. Benoit. And a cover. 2, and got a 2 count there. So, going back to what I was saying, yes, I have been watching Monday Night Raws from 2000 on Peacock. And surprisingly, from what I've seen, so far at least, and hopefully it's going to stay that way, we don't know. Because, to be fair, the whole controversy about Peacock censoring specific things has kind of died down as of recent. But who knows? And again, hopefully there won't be more things taken away. But yes, from what I've seen so far, there have not been any other things taken down yet. I think not even the live sex celebration has been censored yet, nor should it be. And yep, he's gonna pin me. It's gonna be over, and well, at least my click buddy beat me up, considering how it was Triple H and that was Kevin Nash who pinned me 1, 2, 3, and I still got no place. Only 6. I was 6 wins away to at least getting in 10th. Whew. So far, nothing has been censored or continued to be taken down as far as what I've seen on Peacock from Raw 2000. So I'm gonna just keep on watching that, and not to mention that SmackDown and even SmackDown um there, and I am definitely surprised and kind of excited that finally, after all this time, SmackDown has all 23 seasons on Peacock, so I can go ahead and check those out too. So, we got all the Raws and we got all the SmackDowns. It took them long enough. Oh god, my chest, man. I always keep thinking, like, what the heck is going on over there? It's like guys, the 4th of July is over. Well, it's not, but 4th of July isn't until tomorrow. Can we please refrain from these constant fireworks, man? Vanessa Williams to sing Black National Anthem at Capitol 4 celebration. You know what? I want to look that up. What is the Black National Anthem? Because I have no idea. Lift every voice and sing. Till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of faith. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Stony the road we trod. Blah, 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 blah. True to our native land. And I apologize if it sounds like, I don't care about the Black National Anthem. I have no problem with really any anthem. Um, Even though that does sound look a little bit longer. But in 1900, when "Lift Every Voice and Sing" was composed, Black Americans were teetering on a fulcrum of history. It was first performed in public school by school children in 1900 at a birthday celebrating honoring President Abraham Lincoln, according to the NAACP. And the composer was J. Rosamond Johnson. I don't know who that is. It's obvious. Let me guess it out. Slavery. Well, we're definitely not going to get into that debate. No, I already know some people are going to say some things about just can we just please just I just wish, just like, guys, can we just relax? I just want to say that. Can we please, guys, can we just relax? Relax. Okay? There are some people who like the national anthem. There are some people that like "Lift Every Voice and Sing," aka the Black National Anthem. Even though it's also technically the honoring of President Abraham Lincoln's birthday in the year 1900. So, So isn't that technically an anthem for everyone? How is it just a black national anthem? Because it was a black composer? And J J Rosamond Johnson. Yep. Now I remember it. So, is anybody? I'm just gonna go ahead and so I guess I don't really have anything else to say other than I'll just kind of scroll around here and I'll just show you guys well, not really show you, but I'll just kind of tell you what some of the videos that I noticed on here that kind of interest me, even if I've already seen them like plenty of times, like 20 to 30. Straight out of nowhere, Scooby-Doo makes Courage the Cowardly Dog. Isn't it fascinating how many um, people are kind of warming up to Straight Outta Compton 30 plus years later? And here's what I mean by that. Because you heard what I said. Straight out of nowhere. Because you heard what I said in the title was Straight Out of Nowhere, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog. But we all know where Straight Outta comes from. It doesn't just come from anything else other than, that song Straight Outta Compton. Which is something I just noticed that it seems like everybody's kind of doing now. It's like straight out of Fort Wayne, straight out of The Kitchen, straight out of Sesame Street. Which don't get me wrong, it's a good song. I mean, nobody's denying that it's not a, nobody's denying that it's a classic. But it's just that it was a very controversial song, and it was a song about the racial injustice that was going on in Compton at the time. Well, especially at that time. So, I don't know, it's just kind of interesting that even like a lot of kids shows are kind of referencing that. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where's some of your guys' favorite comedians, or at least YouTubers? To me, my favorite YouTuber is probably always going to be the Angry Video Game Nerd. Oh, by the way, how many of you guys listen to Don't Look Down by Tom McDonald? Which I actually remember making a comment on that video. And I was serious. And I was being serious. Because I was like, wow, I really underestimated this guy. He's a really underrated artist. Like, I thought, oh, well, this guy sucks. He dresses weird, and he just seems just like just somebody, that you just want to make fun of. Until I actually started listening to him, and then I was like, wow, this guy is actually. Um, I take it you don't really listen to rap. Because yeah, me along with, and I think that's what a lot of us kind of thought for a while. At least I know I did. My dad especially did, and he still kind of is that way about Tom. Um, which of course mainly consists of just how he is. Uh, I don't know. Just how he is about like white rappers. I mean, like he doesn't have a problem with them, but yeah, he's definitely more like left leaning and very just I don't know. I'll just leave it at Tom McDonald is diametrically different politically than my dad, where my dad can't really get fully into him, but he's not also somebody that will go on Twitter and bash him. You see, so that's the difference because I can imagine some people saying, "Oh, well, well, your dad sounds like an SJW," and it's like, well, if he was truly an SJW, then don't you think that he would be like like a real SJW, and he would just go on like Twitter and Facebook and stuff and just start bashing all these conservatives? Because usually, I mean, sometimes he'll get in a he again like confrontations, but he doesn't like specifically go out to get anybody upset by how he thinks. So whether you agree with him or not, he's not like that kind of person that will bash somebody unless they say something that's like really weird. Um, and that's obviously where me and my dad are also very different because I just don't really think too much about things like that. But Steve, if you, I definitely recommend that if you're gonna listen to something, I mean, give it a try. Listen to Tom McDonald. Don't look down. And obviously, if you don't like it, that's fine because he's not for everybody. And he definitely was somebody that took me a while to get into. Again, I just didn't like the way he looked. I didn't like the way he kind of rapped, but then I really started listening to him, and he really kind of. Then I started seeing some of the relatability and some of his talent that some people just don't want to see or want to really acknowledge because of his controversy, because of everybody saying, "Oh, well, he's just a big Trumper and he's just, like any other white rapper, that wants to be tough, but he's not," and blah, 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 blah. But yet there are a lot of people of all backgrounds, not just white people, um, that like him. So, go figure. Even though my favorite rapper will always be Eminem, which was ironically the rapper that Tom McDonald was inspired the most by. In the comments right there. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else beyond Can't really think of anything else. Because it seems like everything that I am looking at in my YouTube homepage is either stuff that I don't really care about or I don't really know about, or I just don't really want to know about. What? Hey, hey, Steve, is that what you were talking about, man? The dozens dead as Canada heat wave shatters temperature records. Man, well, I mean, if so, that sucks. And I hope Steve, you especially are staying safe, my friend, as you all are, hopefully, because I know that heat waves are no joke. Dang, dude, yeah. I hope that you guys, yeah, Steve. I hope that you're hanging in there, man. Because I mean, I know how I feel just right now, and I'm all the way out in Indiana, man. Like I can only imagine, like just in Indiana alone, and it's like nighttime right now, as you can see. I'm getting like kind of burning up. Well, not burning up, but I just get like really warm and and sweaty, and then it's like like when I'm just kind of upstairs, it's like just want to just put the fan, yeah, put the fan on blast, and I always said it, man. I think there's never been a time where I didn't agree with myself, where I'm like, I just want to be. I'd rather be cold than like super hot. Like that that sucks. Really, really does. But what else do we got here? Oh, like see, like I'm already, just kind of. Oh, and of course, gotta give a rest in peace. I'll even say it right here. Rest in peace to the Patriot Dell Wilkes. So, yeah, rest in peace to the Patriot Dell Wilkes. Because remember, kids, for all you youngsters out there, that at least remember, a little bit of like at least the roots of aggression, even if you're kind of still a little bit, don't know a whole lot about that. Without Dell Wilkes, Kurt Angle would not have that Dun 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 dun. Wouldn't have had it, my friend. So you definitely gotta give uh, credit to Del Wilkes, whether you know about him or not, and go out there, watch his matches. I know I'm certainly going to, because regardless if I don't know him, he's still a part of our sports history, and he's a legend. And yeah, respect to him, man. Respect to Dell. Because speaking of movies, I know that the Forever Purge, as the tagline says, that movie is out, and I don't care. I haven't even seen the first, and personally, I don't care. I haven't even seen the first Purge, and any other Purge movie. Oh, well, hopefully, Steve, you enjoy that movie. Um, I'm pretty sure there are some people out there, and I can go ahead and be like, oh yeah, yeah, enjoy that movie, Steve. It's totally gonna blow your mind. It's definitely not gonna be just like another rehash of every other Purge movie that we've seen that's came out over the last 10 years. To each is their own. People can think however they want to think. Maybe you'll like it, maybe you won't like it, and hope you do like it. That's just my personal opinion. And I haven't really even watched any of the Purge movies. But yeah, I would be one to talk, considering some of the movies that I like that nobody knows, or at least nobody wants to know or even care about. Um, what are some of my? I wouldn't even say they're guilty pleasure movies. Just like, let's say, bad movies that I like. Hmm, what would be what would be one of them? Bad movies that I like. Hmm. I don't know, man. There are definitely some bad ones out there that I don't really have too much of a problem with, despite what everybody else thinks. Uh, okay, here's one. Bad Santa 2. Yep. Um, Super Troopers 2. That's another one. Jack and Jill, kind of. Those are like just some of the movies that I like. That I know some other people are just like, yeah, they're not as good, or dude, those movies suck. But those are some of the movies that I like. Like Bad Santa 2 actually made me laugh. Same thing with Super Troopers 2. And Jack and Jill, well, that movie, in all fairness, I hated for quite a while. But I grown I grown to like it. Especially with the whole Dunkachino song that Joe Cronin puts in his donations. What other movie can I think of that I like that nobody else likes? or at least not as many people really like it. Uh, and I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them out there. I I guess I like. I even like Cars too. Okay, yeah. There's one. But as I'm posting right now, I guess I like Brother Bear, which was a Disney movie that for some reason I remember, but yet I don't remember. I was trying to say, but yet I don't really remember, but I do remember. I know the premise. I know that the kid that was on the Bernie Mac show, he would go on to be in that movie, and he would voice the young cub Coda, and that's about it. I mean, that's not like the only movie. I know there was also another one that I remember, but I just can't think of it right off the top. Oh yeah, I even like Neighbors 2 and one other movie. And oh yeah, and Hubie Halloween. Yes, Hubie Halloween. The movie that everyone said was a horrible, horrible movie. One of the worst Adam Sandler films ever made. At least I think that's what they. I'm pretty sure some people have said that, or just overall said it was a horrible film. I somehow managed to find it entertaining. Oh, there's a. Speaking of Halloween, Halloween H2O with Jamie Lee Curtis, Josh, what was his name? Halloween H2O. Josh. What's his name? Josh Hartnett. That was it. Josh Hartnett and LL Cool J, which, as of right now, it has 52% on Rotten Tomatoes and 49% audience score. So those are some, but yeah, those are some of the movies that people hate, or at least the majority seem to. But I got no problem with them for some reason. I don't know. Um, uh, I am about to end this. I am about to end the stream as well, but I will also say that make a list of some of the even WWE pay-per-views that I like, but no one else does or really even remembers. And why? Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, I am about to end the stream, but I will just also put in some pay-per-views that I like that nobody else really likes or doesn't really remember or is like, really? That one? Um, there was Bad Blood. I'm just gonna check these out. All right, so you're gonna be going, Steve? Okay, man. Well, yeah, definitely. Whatever you got to do. Uh, I will certainly, talk to you later as well. So, peace out. I'm gonna be getting out as well. Just say some of these pay-per-views. Bad Blood 2003 and Bad Blood 2004, Armageddon 2004, Survivor Series 2004. Ironically, a lot of pay-per-views that I like that nobody else likes was from the year 2004. I'm not sure why, but that just seemed to be one of the years that I liked. I even like Great American Bash 2004, 2004, and 2005. But out of all of those, for some reason, the one that I remember the most, in fact, my top two pay-per-views that I like that nobody else really does or even really remembers. Kind of going back again to what I said in the previous comment, Armageddon 2004 and No Mercy 2005. Armageddon 2004, I remember because John Cena was having a matchup with Jesus, was having a matchup against Jesus for the United States Championship. It was a street fight, and I don't know why, but for some reason that matchup was was good to me. I liked watching it as a kid. I don't know why, because there are plenty of like better matches from John Cena's career, and there's better street fights even than what happened in 2004 for the Armageddon pay per view. But for some reason, John Cena versus Jesus, that was a good match to me. I I can't explain it, but that was the main match I recall. And No Mercy 2005, I just remember a lot of the a lot of the quote, a lot of just like some of the smaller, some of the smallest things in that pay per view. Like, do you guys remember Simon Dean? Simon Dean, the same guy, the guy that would he was the he was originally Nova in ECW, but yeah, he was the guy that was all about fitness and calling other people fat. And one night in particular, in at No Mercy in 2005, he had a plate of cheeseburgers and 20 double cheeseburgers. Again, how do I remember that? Why do I remember 20 double cheeseburgers? And specifically that it was 20 double cheeseburgers. Not just 20 cheeseburgers, but 20 double cheeseburgers. I don't know. I wish I knew. But I. So he said he was going to eat 20 of those double cheeseburgers if he lost this matchup, and his opponent was the rookie at the time, Bobby Lashley. Now, obviously, Bobby was um, in his prime. He was in unbelievable shape. I mean, I don't think there was ever really a point where Bobby was like not in incredibly good shape, because even when he left the WWE, he went on to become a cage fighter in the MMA in the UFC for a good minute. So yeah, Bobby. So I think in many ways Bobby's always been really good physically, like physically appearance wise. So he goes ahead, he beats him up, and then he makes Simon Dean eat all the cheeseburgers. And then there was JBL versus Rey Mysterio, and this was back when Jillian Hall, she had that disgusting mole on her face that would eventually get eaten by the boogeyman, and and our and then Rey Mysterio sends something like showed like JBL, like, I got a little present for you. So he showed him a little mask, like a kid's Rey Mysterio mask. He said, because after the underdog beat you tonight, I thought maybe you'd hide your face in shame. And and Ray was like, "Here, take it. Take it. You're gonna need it. Okay, if you don't need it, I know someone who will." And then he pointed that mask right towards Jillian Hall. How do I remember that as well? Why do you remember all this, Chris? Why, out of all the things that you remember from a pay per view, you remember these small moments that nobody else cares about? I even remember Heidenreich and Animal as Legion of Doom 2005, I guess. I mean, I don't think that's what they were specifically called, but I even remember when they were a tag team. Yeah, when it was Heidenreich and Hawk, not Hawk. Rest in peace, Hawk. Oh, and of course, rest in peace to Animal. Dang, dude. Literally just hit me. It was yeah, well, Animal's still alive. Oh no. No, Animal's been gone for a while too, so um yeah, rest in peace to Animal. But I remember when he was tag teaming with Heidenreich, and they had Christy Hemme as their valet, or manager, or, I mean, whatever you want to call her. So that was which I like to say that with that combination of like Hawk being replaced with Heidenreich, and instead it was Heidenreich and Animal, even though like Hawk wasn't just replaced, he was of course he was deceased. He would have still been gone, dead for 3 years. 3 years at that point. This was still the year 2005. It would have been 3 years since his passing. So that would make so what I think when I think of Legion of Doom 2005, I think that was like a combination of, okay, so Hawk is no longer part of the team. Now it's Animal and Heidenreich, which they tried doing the same thing with Draws and Animal. So it's a combination of when Draws turned um, on Hawk, and he became part of the Legion of Doom, and mixed with the combination of when Sunny was a valet for the Legion of Doom in like 97, early 98. So it's like a combination of like those like of like the late. So Legion of Doom 2005 is ironically a combination of the Legion of Doom back in the late 90s. So I think I've talked enough. Um, I don't really know what else to say. Thank you all for watching. Shout out to once again Steve Callan, Randy Viper, Jennifer, and and anyone anyone else that was watching. I'm just kind of looking back at the comments because you guys really helped out in that dark point in the stream, and I really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys have a good night and you have an even better 4th of July.